Hey, this is Rob Gill with Epic Financial Strategies. And, at all times, I am, as a team, we are constantly looking for people that have achieved success. And it's not just about money, but success in all areas of life and being able to have this success even as challenges come their way. And the beautiful thing about that is being able to see that success leaves clues. I have the good fortune today of having an interview with my partner, friend. I'm going to call him a mentor as well, the amazing Scott Tennant. Scott, how are you today, man?
I'm excellent. Thank you, Rob.
Thank you, and thank you so much for being here today. I know that we have the good fortune of spending a couple days with each other at an immersion, but last night we were at the 100th anniversary of the American Foundation for the Blind, and what did you think about that last night?
That was absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. It was a dream come true to see everybody there and all of our friends and supporting a great cause.
Yeah, and speaking of the AFB, you have a footprint there, right? There's a presence there. Can you share a little bit about that?
I do. I was the original funder for what became the Helen Keller documentary.
Wow, the original funder for what is going to be the documentary. And when is that going to be released?
We're hoping next year, possibly anywhere between June and October, we're filming.
Yeah.
But with COVID still a little strange.
Yeah. So when we talk about when we talk about the Helen Keller
Yes.
Documentary, we're not talking about not to minimize it, but this is a real movie that's being put together, right?
Yes.
Your step into it has created a lot of gravitational pull, and can you share a little bit of what that means to you personally, and how you see this going forward?
Sure. My dad is an ophthalmologist by trade,
Yep.
Medical doctor. Now we're doing holistic medicine. And so vision has always been very important to me. Protecting vision, saving vision, helping people with low vision. It just was a natural fit, especially when I met Kirk Adams through Tony Robbins and what he does. Sean Callaghy, of course, when I met him, an awesome, awesome human being, which is now a coach and a mentor. It just was an obvious fit.
Yeah.
When they asked me if I would have any ideas about the film, I said yes.
Yeah, yeah. And what's amazing to me? I'm just sitting here. I'm getting the goosebumps because I'm hearing you tell the story that you met Kirk Adams,
Yes.
and you met Sean Callaghy, and you met do stuff with Tony Robbins.
Yes.
That just doesn't it doesn't show up at your front door. So I'd like to invite you on a journey right now.
Sure.
And kind of discover where it all started for you
Sure.
as we bring it home and,
Sure.
and circle back to what's
Welcome
going
to it.
on, because I am so happy. So where did it all start? Where are you from?
I'm from Dallas.
Dallas, Texas.
Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
Dallas, Texas.
And are you an only child, or what did your early years look like?
Sure. So I am an only child of my mother.
Yep.
My dad had juvenile diabetes. Was diagnosed to live approximately to age 13. He had it at 7. He lived to 31.
Incredible.
So I had him for 12 years.
Before we go any further, my dad passed away 12 years ago, so I was 38,
Sure.
right? I'm 50, I just aged myself. But what is your memories? That was a long time ago. What is that, even to this day, what are your memories?
Sure. I have to say, Rob, awesome. I had a luxury, which actually is a gift in an odd way, that we knew that the end was imminent.
So every second counted.
Every second counted.
And there was no confusion.
No. So I always remembered my parents saying the same thing we just said. Every minute counts. Every birthday, every Christmas, every holiday, every lesson. You have two choices, A or B. If you see anything else, discuss it with us. You make the decisions.
It sounds like dynamite parenting to me,
Yeah.
but it also sounds like an incredible responsibility for a young man.
It was.
Yeah.
We knew that when it happened, someday soon you will have to be a man.
Yeah.
So every single experience, I was raised as an adult, with adults, board meetings.
Really?
Almost
Wow.
everywhere we went, I was there. Everybody else sent their kid away. The parents would say, "You bring him, he's awesome."
Yeah.
but it gave me the opportunity to do things that kids don't do, be places kids aren't.
Yeah.
I think I told you before, I was at the Playboy Mansion.
Yes.
Well, not the Playboy Mansion, the Playboy Club, at least 8 times that I can remember.
At what age?
By 12. Yeah. And, it was theater in the round. The artists would come in. So, of course, after they sang, they would come out to the audience and meet the stars, whoever was there. But they would come out and say, "How are you, young man?"
Yeah.
But it was interesting because it was interesting to them. What are you doing here?
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, so I think that was the most important thing. That was it was a beautiful lesson because when it happened, I had a trust fund, a checking account, a credit card. I had my driver's license at 14.
Wow.
My mom had moved to Houston. I stayed in Waco.
Yeah.
Every weekend at 14, I'd drive 4 hours.
Really?
On a Friday after school to see my mom in Houston. Drive back to my aunt's house Sunday night to get home about 11 o'clock at night at 14.
Yeah, incredible. Insight.
Take care of the car, go to school at my own high school.
Yeah. So I'm sitting here thinking, right? I'm like, wow. Because, everything we learn in life, it takes us to the next chapter, including those experiences. And you must inherently... when you're in rooms, you're probably able to dissect things pretty quickly.
I have to.
Yeah.
It's instinct now.
Yeah. And figure out exactly what you're going to do next.
Yeah.
Right? I'm hearing about a 14-year-old that drove 4 hours each way Friday to Sunday. Life changed at that point. Dad passed away.
Yes.
You cherished every moment as best as you possibly can. Had tremendous experiences, a lot of adult experiences in the form of business.
Yes.
Right? Understanding personalities. Probably saw people change personalities when they started drinking versus when they weren't. Right? You probably saw so many different things. Incredible. High school years. What is the world like with you and your mom? What happens next?
Yeah. So my mom left Houston, moved to Dallas.
Yep.
With my aunt. I decided to move to Dallas. A man across the street, Dr. Tennant, saw my mom, thought she was a babysitter, and found out, no, it's Glenda's sister, and they dated and quickly fell in love. He's a fabulous person.
And Scott Tennant's your dad?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, or Jerry Tennant, yes.
Yeah.
And so basically...
Jerry, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so basically... it's all good.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. So basically they got married, and quickly he figured out that I loved what he did.
And he wasn't confused that you being a young man
No.
that was also very comfortable in being responsible.
Yes.
I suspect.
Yes. I was the only kid that ever drove his cars
Okay.
before they were like 18.
Yes, understood. And
Because I take care of my car.
Yes. And he has a lot of kids.
Yes.
Oh, is that why
there's-
you have like 17 stepmoms?
Yes.
I'm
yes.
just kidding.
Yeah,
Well-
there's a couple. And because the funny thing is here's his, hers, ours, and theirs.
Yes.
But we don't use the word step
Yes.
because it never was like that from the very beginning. I was best friends with my 2 older brothers.
That's amazing.
And, the 2 younger ones were a little younger, but we were very close. There was never step. My dad is my dad. He's not my stepdad.
Yeah.
He adopted me because I would go with him, and it was easier to say, this is Scott.
Yeah.
People didn't say, now, whose mom was yours?
Understood.
It stopped
Yeah.
the conversation because it's not that,
That's an important distinction.
Yes.
Like in any kind
family.
of influential communication, though, like that stopped conversations and prevented things from maybe taking the next step forward because it was like an interruption and not a good interruption.
Not a good interruption.
Yeah.
We were there to help and teach people.
Exactly. Wow. So you what I find so amazing, because the journey you're on and you were on is not normal in those circumstances.
That's true.
Right? There's statistically speaking, I'm saying it sounds so outside of the box and it's an outlier. The level of mature, loving, caring environment that you must have been brought up in is incredible. And I see it to this day when I interact with you. I mean, there's no confusion there.
Sure.
So you're with Jerry, and Jerry is very good at what he does. If you want to share with the good folks and explain what that is and how things began to accelerate.
Yes. So Jerry, my CFO.
No, your dad.
My
I
dad.
said
Okay, my
Scott.
dad. Okay, got it. Yes, got it. Okay. So
Yeah, we're not with Jerry
yes,
yet.
Okay,
We'll
got
get
it.
to Jerry.
Okay, got it. So my dad, instantly he was the first man that I could trust outside of my biological dad.
Got it.
Because you have that time when, your dad is gone. And, nobody can ever replace that. But I got the best second.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And, so I started working with him, and to have people see after cataract surgery,
Yeah.
I would rush home from school to actually get to the office to actually be the one to help take the patches off cataract surgery patients.
Why did that mean so much to you?
The miracle.
Yeah.
Yesterday, they couldn't see.
Yeah.
We did the surgery. Today, I get to take the patches off, and I'm the first person they see.
And their expression must have been something that hit your nervous system?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
50 a week, and
50 a week.
the adrenaline that hits and the love
Yeah.
that hits in the miracle,
Yeah.
you got a hug from every single one of them. It sets you up in a different place that you expect that in every job you do.
Yep.
To give completely the gift of healing and health, and to receive the love.
So the expectation became that standard operating procedure.
Yes. Standard.
And there was there was like a structure and a strategy, and by the way, what you're describing to me and the folks that are listening is how to really engage your nervous system with a predictable science. And at that point, were you even aware of that was actually happening?
Yes.
Okay. Did you have a language for it at that point?
I did not.
Excellent.
I did not.
But you knew that was, if I did A, B, C, and D, I'm going to feel like D, E, F, and G.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And I'll tell you
that's amazing.
Yeah, the strangest thing. And so the 4-hour drive, there's a lot of times listening to music, listening to, Tony Robbins tapes, which is a
Were you
funny
listening
story.
back then?
I was.
Wow.
Yeah, you just put them in the car and just listen, and then you do something else. I'm driving along one day, and I hear an audible sound.
Yeah.
And I heard conceive, believe, receive.
Wow.
And I thought, wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I keep driving.
Yeah.
I literally hear it again. I thought, yeah, that's really interesting. I probably should remember this.
Yeah.
I heard it again.
Wow.
I said, pull over and write this down.
I was going to say,
this is going to be important.
Yes, yes.
So I did.
Yeah.
That piece of paper still to this day is in my desk, and it shows up in different places.
Isn't that amazing?
All throughout my life.
Yeah.
It'll just show up. It'll fall out of something. It's like, oh. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
keep going.
So I think
I'm
that
fascinated.
was the first time I was like, this is something you hear about.
Yeah.
But then when it happens to you and it's actually audible, it's like, this is something.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Yep.
No verbiage, no concept of spirituality, really, besides Southern Baptist. Didn't know what it was. People would think you were crazy. But I stopped. So I think when you started to see the miracle and you started to see what was happening, and you could see you could control your destiny by what you put out.
Yes. That gift.
Yes, it is.
When that comes, yes.
Yes, yes. And I think what was funny was, I really realized that when you can control it, you can almost force yourself to fail forward. And again, I didn't have the words for it. I was stumbling to try to tell people. I said, I try to, and I joke, I'm OCD. I created that.
Yeah.
Make things happen where you have to run into it, step over it, run into it.
Yep.
So you have to do it, so it makes it where you have to fail in a positive direction.
Yes.
Make a list, check it off, that sort of thing.
Yeah. You're making me think, like, in the past, at times in my life, if I failed, I remember that I would have given up.
Yeah.
But once you have the gift of not giving up and you realize this is just part of the process, and every time you overcome this next phase, it's going to get bigger, better, and stronger. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that's what I just felt when you were describing that. So you went into business with your dad, right? And I think that hearing about the 50, the miracles every single week and going home and success became part of your world.
Yeah.
And material as well as life, right? You were sharing with myself and David Harder with you out in Dallas about how the phone company had come to your office one day because of you tell the story, please, but you almost shut down Texas, as I understand it, from a radio interview, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It was George Nuri on Coast to Coast.
Yep.
And he had called, and he knew some people we knew, and he said, hey, I want to speak to your dad. It's going to be like 3 o'clock in the morning your time. It's going to be about 3, possibly 4 hours. We'll see how it goes. Just know you're going to get really busy.
Yep.
I said, yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, you're going to get busy. And you're
yeah,
I can handle it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. It's like, do you have that handle? I said, yeah, we got 6 people here.
Yeah, we're good.
We have 10 lines. We're good. He said, yeah, okay, good. So I come in the next morning, and my dad's office at that time was right next door, and Frankie was there, and she was his receptionist, and I came in early. She came in early just to see, because she was curious. And so normally in the morning, she's like, hey.
Yeah.
I look in, she's like this. So I walk by, and I'm like, okay, that's odd.
Yeah.
So I open my door, and I walk in, turn the lights on. I look over at the phone, and all 10 lines are lit.
And what year was this, by the way?
This was, 2008 maybe.
Okay, got it.
Maybe.
So like the internet was there, but like
Yes.
social. This was like kind of before all
Kind
that.
of before all that.
Got it.
So I go into my office, and I'm like, well, that's really odd. So I look at my phone, and I'm not even on the Rolodex.
Yes.
I mean, I could call out people who call in if they were transferred.
Got it.
I look at my phone, and there's like 375 messages on my phone.
Wow.
This
Wow.
doesn't happen.
Yes.
So somebody quickly comes in, and she says, she said, what's going on? I said, well, the phones have gone crazy. She said, I have like 900 voicemails.
Wow.
So about that
Wow.
time, somebody else came in, and they said, hey, there's 2 guys in dark suits out front that need to talk to you.
Men in Black.
Men in Black, pretty
Yeah.
much. So I go outside, and I said, hi, can I help you? And, here everybody's coming in. The phones are lighting up. It's going crazy. People go, what do we do? I don't know.
Yeah.
So the guy says, hi, I'm with EXO Communications. We do all of your communications, your wire, and all of that stuff. And this is the president of the Texas region for
Wow.
AT&T.
Incredible.
I said, great, what can I do for you guys? They said, no, we've already taken care of it.
I love this.
He said, so actually you shut down the whole grid 10 times between 3 and 4 a.m.
Yeah.
That's internet, that's wire, that's telephone, that's everything.
Yep.
We had to reset everything. So we've already switched you to AT&T. They're going to keep the same cost, the same everything. We've already moved you over. You're good.
Yes.
Sign here.
And you signed.
I signed it. And he,
So here's my question.
Yes.
What did you guys talk about? What was on the radio show that everybody kept calling? What was actually the reason why they called?
sure. So basically it was healing is voltage.
Healing is voltage. Got it.
The body is voltage.
Yep.
So if you have good voltage in your cells and in your body, you can heal,
Yes.
especially when you have the right raw materials in your body and you take away any toxins or things that steal from you.
Got
You
it.
know, good water is good for you. It gives to you, good, clean vitamins, good, clean food, non-GMO, that sort of thing.
Got it.
But also root cause of illness.
Okay.
Those 2 things were so interesting that George kept him on for the whole 4 hours.
Got it.
And
usually he didn't do that, correct?
no.
So would it have been like a 1 hour interview that lasted 4 hours?
Yeah,
Was it
most of the time, because it was all live.
Yeah.
So most of the time he starts out at an hour. If he likes it, he'll move you. He said,
Okay.
I hardly ever moved to 2. I never moved to 4.
So yeah, this was your dad.
Yeah.
4 hours.
Yes,
Got
4
it.
hours. It went all the way through.
Unbelievable. All right.
So that was interesting because you look at it and you say, what was that?
What happened?
We didn't answer the phones for 6 months. It was on auto answer.
Yeah.
And we had people, we started to try to maximize email as much as we could back then.
Yeah.
Internet, trying to get them to go to our website, trying to answer via, we didn't have chat or anything, but trying to answer it with frequently asked questions, things like that, because we just couldn't find the staff that knew what we were doing fast enough.
What did that feel like?
It
It
was
felt like
actually
you hit the
awesome.
holy grail. Yeah, take us into like that, because whenever you see like stories or read about stories about success or a movie, they dramatize it, of course,
Yes.
but sometimes you don't see like what it really looks like, and it sounds like a beautiful mess.
It was a beautiful mess.
It sounded like a
That's
beautiful
awesome.
mess,
I love
right?
that. Yeah.
And tell us a little bit more about that, because as folks like
Yes.
that watch this and start getting into that space, it's a cue, I assume, that you're on the right path.
Yes,
Yeah.
totally. Yes. We quickly stopped. After the guys left, I said, okay, quick meeting. Let the phones ring. There's nothing we can do.
Got it.
That we've hit the iceberg. The water's coming in. Now
Got it.
stop.
Yeah.
we stopped and I said, okay, here's what we have to do. Come up with a plan, come up with it quick.
Yep.
Everything goes to voicemail, everything goes in, we start everything. We get the web developer there, we said change it.
Yeah.
Everything goes to email, try to come up with frequently asked questions, go, what do you have? Put it down, let's organize it.
Got it.
Everything happened very quickly. We just took the bull by the horns.
Yeah.
Orders back then were on paper, we just wrote them, they put them in. We did the best we could to get them. We shifted over to there was a shipping person. Before it was everybody pitched in.
Got it.
Now it's like,
No structure.
You're the best in
Got
shipping.
it.
Take it over.
Got it.
Yeah, everything shifted immediately. Or pivot. Like Tony talks about pivot.
Yep. But you didn't have language.
We didn't
though.
have language.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
this
we
was
didn't
like
know.
brand new. Yeah.
Brand new.
Can I just say something?
Yes.
Listen, folks. When Scott talks about a pivot, and as your business accelerates because it's the things that you're beginning to do, it's an elevation point for you to take that next action step. And sometimes as you grow, the people that brought you there, they're great people. You're going to bring on new people to help accelerate that growth even further.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. And we did. We had people that were customers, clients, friends, family. And so I had to call and say, listen, I need you today.
Yeah.
And they rallied, they came in, and they did it. They knew what we did, why we did, how we did. And so we basically doubled our staff like the next day. And we had new phones in. I mean, everything was, it's like, what's it going to cost to get it done?
Yeah.
Make it happen.
Yeah. What a gift.
And so it was a beautiful mess, what you said. It happened.
Yeah. And did like revenues just like what did the business side look like?
Yeah, we had about 4 months of stock in our room.
Of product.
Sure.
Got it.
And the manufacturer had about 4 months.
Okay.
So in about a month and a half, we were sold out of all those.
So 8 months of product in,
Yes.
in 45 days.
Yes.
Wow.
So we then had to call in all of our emergency vendors. So the manufacturer always has that. They flip the switch. Within 30 days, we had enough to get moving. So we had a back order situation for about 30 days.
Of what normally would have been 9 months.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And it was interesting because we actually had them numbered. Everybody got a number, and they were first come, first served. And literally, the order stack was about this tall of paper.
Incredible.
It was the most amazing thing that I'd ever seen. It was you just handle it, and you had to be on top of the wave. You had to ride the wave.
That's right.
You couldn't let it get you under. You
That's
couldn't let
right.
it get too cocky. It's like, this is just taking
Yep.
care of those people.
Yes.
These people are asking for help. We know we can help them.
Yes.
You can do what you can do and nothing more.
Wow. Now, that sounded like mentally you guys were ready
Ready.
to handle it.
Yes.
You handled it. That, let's call it splash of that radio interview, right? What was some of the innovations? Listen, you're filling 9 months times 2 of orders in 90 days. So the revenues would normally take 9 months, came in 45 days, just so everyone's doing the math. Overnight, by the way. How did you keep it going? Like, what was like, wow, how do we not only, have these corrective course on what's now new, but how do we maintain
Yes.
going forward?
Yes.
Like, what was that like?
Yes. It was interesting.
And the reason why I'm asking, sorry, Scott,
Yes, no.
is because I believe this is how you were able to do some of the miracles you did at Business Mastery.
Yes.
Because you had a proof of evidence back in 2008 what it really looks
Yes.
like, and how you were able to handle your conversations with Tony Robbins.
Yes. Yes.
I believe that.
Yes. And, it really was a nice hit in the face.
I love it. Yep.
It hit you, but it was refreshing because you knew I'm ready and my people were ready. So
You passed the test.
pass the test. And I guess about 3 days in, it was interesting. So I went and I had somebody create some candles, a prayer candle.
Yep.
And so every morning we say a little prayer
Yep.
and we light a candle. It just seemed appropriate.
Yeah.
Help these people that call us. Help us. Then I always hated the word sell.
Yeah. I don't
Sell
like it
was
either.
not it.
I don't
No.
like it either.
So we came up with healing delivered.
I love that. How many healing delivers did we have this month?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's actually
like
now
that
changed.
better.
Yeah. I think it's now gone into health delivered, but
How many health
Same
deliveries have we had this month?
yeah.
Please.
Yeah, and this is what's really fun is because just thinking spiritually, I thought, how do you let your staff and everybody know that something happened. Well, you think, when a bell rings, an angel gets its wings. I thought, wow, that's funny. That's odd. That's quirky.
Yep.
So I got a little Tibetan bowl, and I put it down. And so every time we had an order, I'd ring the bell.
There's a lot of ringing.
A lot of ringing.
Yeah.
But everybody heard it. So what happened was it let you know every time you heard that bell,
Yeah.
we just saved somebody else.
Yes. Saving life. And that life saved with wife and kids can produce something special for the next generation because they're here. Or a husband, wife, whatever, whoever got the cat. Yeah, right?
Sure.
So, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, thanks.
That's
It's
amazing.
nice to relive it.
Yeah. And it sounded like the world changed at that point. And is this, around the time when your dad was writing books?
Yeah,
and
he'd already written
beginning
one.
to speak on stage and so is that what that looked like at that point?
Yeah. He always taught when he was an ophthalmologist to a lot of people in that realm.
Yeah.
After he got sick and found a way to heal himself, which created this new piece of our life, our journey.
Yep.
He was starting to teach at different venues, more holistic.
Yep.
And so it just sort of accelerated it because it just sort of pushed us. So now people knew us more.
Yep.
And he wrote more books, which accelerated the thing. It was just like this gentle move with the feather, even though it seemed like so much.
Yeah.
In it was very soft because it was like, this is where we're supposed to go. This is quite obvious.
It was like a regeneration.
It was.
Yeah, over and over again.
Yeah.
And which led to the next journey,
Yes.
right? And this next journey is the product that you're talking about. You want to share what happened next?
Sure.
I don't know if it was before Business Mastery,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And talk about what you had done in 2008. You were very prepared for what was about to happen in 2020.
Yeah.
What was it, 2019?
2019, October 2019.
Got it.
Yes.
Please.
Yes, Business Mastery. So,
Folks, please get your pen and paper because this is where you can create millions of dollars if you understand the power of intention, if you understand the ecosystem merger, and if you have something to offer the world that makes the world a better place, and it's not about sales, but it's about saving lives.
True. And added value, Tony says.
And added more value than anyone else in your space.
Yes. So we had met Tony, and
now how did you meet him though? Like he can't go meet Tony tomorrow.
No. It was quite interesting. I said I got to meet him as a human being.
Okay.
And not the person on
Not
stage.
Tony Robbins. Got it.
I had seen him on infomercials. I had seen I'm Not Your Guru. I'd listened to him when I was a kid.
Yep.
I met him as a human.
Yeah.
As a person.
Yeah. And you met him as a human,
Yes.
I assume, because of the reputation that you and your dad had.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the gentle, loving soul showed. His strength and vulnerability were amazing because he wrote it and played it like a violin. Because when you were talking is like us talking.
Yeah.
So I met him that way. And then he gave us the opportunity to, go to some places. One was Business Mastery.
Yeah.
And it was just an awesome experience because I said, I want to show Tony.
Yep.
I'm not going to say we're friends, but somebody I know. Somebody I know.
Yeah.
I want to prove to him I'm hearing what he says.
Yeah.
Did I get it?
Yeah.
So I said, listen, we have to find something while we're here for this project we're going to choose that makes a difference, saves lives.
Yep.
We're going to say, I hear you.
Yep.
I learned from you. And also talk to myself. It's okay to do this and to really go for it.
Yeah.
And to really make a difference and give that added value. All the things that we know and we've learned. So we get there and, they put us in the 100 people of the Diamond Premiere.
And you had known Tony for a couple months at this point,
Couple
correct?
months.
Got it.
Yeah,
Yep.
couple
As the non-stage Tony Robbins.
Non-stage.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
And Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I got to see my friend up there, which is the same person,
Yes.
which was awesome.
But you saw him in a different light this time.
in a different light.
Yeah.
But it was awesome because I'm like, that is really him in person.
Yes. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so
It was
amazing.
awesome to see it. It's like, wow, awesome. 'Cause
Yeah.
people say, is he really real? I'm like, no, he's real.
He keeps it real.
This is real.
Yes.
It's just awesome when you see your mentor that way. So they put us in the 100, and then they say break up in 5s.
Yep.
So we did.
Yep.
Quickly, somebody in the 100 in the diamond said, hey, this isn't going to work. We're going to be much stronger together.
Yeah.
They said, let's all merge together. Let's take all 100 people, get us back together in one
Got it.
group. So we did.
Understood.
It was awesome.
Yeah, that was smart.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I've been
awesome.
at that event. That's very smart.
Yeah. Within 5 minutes, we were all back together.
Yeah.
So we'd already started discussing our ideas, and she was coming around going, listen, this is a way to do it. So we pulled together. Her name's Marcella. She's fabulous.
Wow.
Wallace.
My friend.
Yes.
Yeah, she texted me.
Oh, God. She's
After we, yeah.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
she's fabulous.
She is.
She's family now.
Yeah,
Truly.
I know. She sure is.
Yeah. And another lady named Shannon Stiles, she was there too, and she was very instrumental in this whole thing.
I don't.
Yeah, you might have.
I probably
seen
know
her.
the face.
Yeah. She was fabulous. And is fabulous. I think it was Shannon actually went outside and she said, hey, there's a little booth out here of these things called Unbelievable Cookies. And she said, they give money to help the needy who are hungry.
And it was made by nuns.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. It's like, how fabulous. Here's a product that's already done. We can sell it and it already has a cause. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's a no-brainer.
And for the folks that are listening, the team that Scott was on going into the event, if I was to use a sports analogy,
Yes.
were heavy underdogs.
Yes. Totally.
They had some insurmountable giants on the other side.
That is absolutely true. And we knew it. It's like this.
And by the way, going into the fourth quarter, they were down about 30. But guys,
Yes, that's true. Yeah, this is all so true, and it was so much fun. I had never had so much fun in my life. I mean, the information coming in and the overload and what you were having to do, and with your phone,
so
and you're trying to
crazy.
listen. It was absolutely
so
the most
crazy.
amazing time. I had so much fun. Yeah, just thinking about it recreates it. So
that's great.
So we got together, we did that thing. So, and all of a sudden we went out and said, wow, because the other team, had T-shirts already.
I know.
Yes.
I had like 6 of them.
Yes. So we went to them and we said, hey, you're wearing a T-shirt with your name on it. And they said, yes, we have 100 T-shirts that we're giving to people who buy boxes. It's like, no, you're giving them to us. So we instantly had yellow shirts.
Oh no, I had the other shirt.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, did you have one of those
I didn't even know you.
Yes. Okay. Oh,
I
my
was
God.
on.
That's true.
I was on the other
The other
team.
team.
Yeah,
Yes. So, awesome. This is so awesome. So we did that, and so then people just went crazy nuts. Like one person said, well, it's about nuns. Let's go get nun costumes.
Yeah.
So now we had men and
Yes.
women in nuns costume out there
Grown-ups.
dancing.
Yeah, dancing. Yes.
Yes, it was crazy.
It's
It was like,
great.
oh my gosh, this is awesome. So we're going along, and I'm thinking we are not going to. I mean, it is not about the win. That's more just a competition that's fun.
Yeah.
It's about helping people. But we set a goal that we were going to sell 2,500 boxes of cookies.
Yes.
It was an informal goal. But
And this was 5 days, right? Yeah.
5 days.
Yep.
Because there were 2,500 people in the room.
Yeah.
So somebody thought that'd
So
be great
half.
to tell the judges.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll at least sell these, right? Who's not going to buy a box of cookies to help the hungry?
True.
So
Yes. Reasonable minds would think that. Yeah.
would think that.
I'm just sitting here saying, yeah, who wouldn't do that? I kept eating the free cookies, though.
Yes.
I had like 30 free cookies, just so you know.
Yeah.
And I barely knew Kuda at this point.
I know.
And I just kept going back there, and I was like, and Dave, they were really good,
Yeah,
bro.
they're good.
They
They're so
are,
good.
especially the peanut butter ones.
I know, that's good.
I
And
love
heat 'em.
them. I love them.
Yes, have you heated them?
Not yet.
Okay, 10 to 15 seconds, heat them.
Yes.
It's like they just came out of the oven. Swear.
I will do that, number one. And number two, I met Kuda after we
Yeah.
came back from
Oh,
Dallas, and we put a corporate order in for Epic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, awesome.
You were the inspiration.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you. And Brian
Yes.
is awesome.
Yes. No, but when this story was what you're about to share.
Yes.
And when you shared it with us when I was with Kuda, I was like, I gotta do something.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
awesome. So we're going along, and I thought, wow. So I knew it was Sunday. Sunday was the last day, and I looked up and I said, hey, Kuda, how many boxes of cookies have we sold? He said it was like 1,230.
That you
So,
sold.
Yeah.
Got
I
it.
said, wow, that kind of really sucks.
And that's still a lot, though. if you
It's a
think, 'cause
lot.
They were giving out free cookies.
We were giving out free cookies,
Yeah.
and so one thing we noticed was we said,
That's the money train whenever you hear
I
it.
love the money train.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
It's the money train.
It's like ringing a bell.
Yes.
Why not?
Yes. We have to call it the healthy train now.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it. So
you escorted this 1,200.
yeah, and I was like, wow, this is not good. And I'm looking down. I'm like, what time is it? I'm like, this is not looking good. Like you said, we're down 30. It's like, oh God. So I started looking, and Tony's going over everything we learned. I'm like, yeah, okay, we did that. Proximity is power. Got that. Do more good. We got that. And I was, then we got into the Keith Cunningham stuff and what he said about thinking outside the box and things. And I said, wait a minute.
Oh, here it is.
I said, wait a minute.
This goes back to 08, right?
Yes.
Does this go back?
It does.
Can I credit 08 for this thought?
I think so.
Or is there other things in your life?
I think it was accumulation of all of it.
Got
actually.
it. Okay.
Yeah, it was just like this. It went.
And it came to you and you
Yes.
knew it was right.
Yes, and I said, hold up. Okay, let's say we have 1,250 boxes of cookies. I said, okay, you take the remaining amount, you divide it by 5.
Yep.
So I divided it by 5, and I looked
Genius.
at it and I said, okay, the boxes of cookies are $32.95. You take $32.95, how much is that? It was $3,800 a month.
Yeah.
It's 88 boxes of cookies a month. I said, hold up. I got this. So I said, I'll be right back. I think I have a solution. Get ready to go on stage.
Now, hold on.
Yes.
From my perspective, because I want to interject this now.
I
From
love
my perspective, the team that I was on, beautiful people, beautiful cause, and in the end, they've changed the world and what they're doing. I'm not going to name anything.
Awesome. Yeah.
The whole 5 days, it was the energy and the galvanization was like, yeah, we're going to win. Like, we're going to win. Like, we got this, but there was still a lot of hard work and energy. And I remember Fernando was really, with Sean and Nicole and all them, really, going after it. And then all of a sudden on the last day, you hear rumblings of, I don't know, there's another team that's starting to gain a lot of momentum. And it did enough to create a little bit of doubt. I remember that feeling. And then...
Yes. So I take off running.
Because the clock is ticking.
Clock is ticking.
You can't just walk back there.
No. So there's a gentleman named Jonathan, and he runs a lot of things, but he kind of watches people that are Tony's friends.
Yep.
So he had his little earpiece, and so he sees me running, so of course he comes running behind me.
Yep.
And so something's obviously up.
Yep.
So he judges. So he called people over. So I go up to Kuda. I call him. I say, Kuda, meet me in the back. So I said, hey, Kuda, I want to buy the rest of the cookies to meet our goal.
1,250 boxes of cookies. Scott, in a moment's decision, in a very huge event in front of 2,500 people, on Tony Robbins' platform and stage, ran to the back of the room and said he wants to buy 1,250 boxes of cookies, which was about $100,000. Was that?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$100,000 commitment to a company
Yeah.
that he barely knew.
Yeah.
If not, didn't even know them.
Didn't really know him.
Except for the fact there was some nuns making some cookies.
That's pretty much all I
And
knew.
they asked Tony for help.
Yeah, pretty
Right?
much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And,
Wow.
Kuda's wife, Ruth.
Yep.
Actually, the first day we walked in, this is really kind of interesting, too, because I told her, I said, it's all because of you. I walked in, I never take anything or use anybody, and I thought, free cookies? I'm good. They're giving money to the homeless.
Yeah.
I said, no.
Yeah.
But I started to walk by, and she looked up, and she smiled.
Yeah.
And I heard in my head, stop.
Yeah.
And I stopped, and I went over, and I said, you have the best smile.
Love.
It was love.
Love. No doubt.
And she said, please try a cookie.
Yeah.
I said, okay. If it wasn't for her, that was one thing that let me all the way back, I think.
Yeah.
The love of just her smile.
Yep.
But that's another story. But
So it led to everything, though.
It did.
It's incredible.
Love.
Yeah.
So Kuda says, wow, that's like $100,000. I said, yeah, I can do the math. But I said, but here's the deal. If you break it down, and let's say it's $3,800 a month, that is an amazing amount that you can spend on PR.
Yeah. You thought that in that moment.
So, yes. So
Yeah.
I said, so Kuda, you're not the Girl Scouts.
Yeah.
You sell one box of cookies to one person at a time. I don't see this working.
Yeah.
I said,
Because
but
that was the traditional
that was
formula.
traditional. And that's
Yeah.
kind of what they were doing to us.
Yeah.
Everybody that came by, hey, you.
Yes.
And I said, so here's the deal. With these cookies that I buy, you're going to write a note in a box from me that's printed by a computer that I tell you what to write, but it's going to be to the customer.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking control of your health.
Yeah.
This is a gift that keeps giving.
Yes. And is that what you normally did when you sold one of your products? Have that kind of message?
No.
Really?
No.
So that just was okay.
We would call, and we were there for
You
them.
were innovating though,
But
right
I
on the
didn't-
spot.
Yes, I didn't want anybody to know what we were doing.
Yeah.
This is going to be a surprise to every single person.
Yeah.
They get the box in the mail. Who doesn't like cookies?
Yes.
But it did say, if this doesn't fit your needs, please share with others. Because at that time, it was 6 meals will be donated
Yeah.
in your name to help solve hunger in America.
Wow. Wow.
Give these cookies to someone who,
So you made the decision.
yes,
You cut off. You made the decision. You
Yes.
burned the boat.
yes.
Right. You took over the island.
Yes.
Did you think you won even at that point?
At that point, I was like, I felt good.
You did.
Rob, I felt good. I
Okay.
said, this is one of the most important decisions I've ever made. Because I knew in my heart, you give those cookies, and somebody said, you donated in my name without me even participating.
Yeah.
That is added value beyond belief.
Was it a spiritual experience for you?
It was.
Wow.
It was. Then I see Jonathan coming towards me,
Yeah.
tapping his earpiece. And he said, we need to go that way.
Yeah.
Tony wants to see you backstage.
Okay.
I said,
And
okay.
this is before he was announcing the winner.
Yes.
Got
And I
it.
said, okay. He said, no, now. So they grab me.
Yep.
They put their arms around me like this, and we go running through the crowd that's dancing.
It's a wild, raucous crowd, by the way. You can't just walk a straight line.
No. So we're pushing our way through. We get into the front like in 10 seconds. I mean, we're like running.
Wow.
Get to the back. Tony comes out. He looks at me,
Yep.
does this, and goes on stage. They said, no, he really wanted to talk to you. I said, we did.
Yeah. So what'd you do next?
So I went outside and I sat down, and they said, well, you look awfully calm. I said, I have the best feeling ever that I've done something for my company and to actually help people.
Wow.
It wasn't about the money.
Yep.
And then he called us his winners.
That was unbelievable. Wow.
It was
Thank
actually
you for sharing.
unbelievable.
It was unbelievable. Thank you for taking me on that journey.
Thank you.
I'm so grateful for that.
Thank you. Yeah.
Phew.
Yeah. It was awesome.
And what happened after that?
So, yeah. So, you know, it was pretty incredible because I actually either didn't know, didn't hear, or didn't pay attention that actually Tony had helped start the company. Somehow I missed it.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was. I maybe wasn't even in the room. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it was actually their first week, that those cookies were actually samples, and they didn't even have a packaging yet.
Yep.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that the boxes wouldn't go out for at least 3 months. I didn't know that.
Yep. It was brand new. Yeah.
It was brand new.
Yeah. Right out of the garage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got a call from Brian, and he said,
And Brian is who?
the CEO.
CEO of
Yes,
Unbelievable.
Yes.
Yep.
And he said, this was awesome. And he said, you know, we've done more than we ever thought we'd probably do in a year in 4 days.
Wow. How great is that?
He said, you do know that Tony is a partner. I said, I did not know that.
Yeah.
He said, did you know that Bill Gross is a partner? I said, that I did not know either.
Bill Gross. Wow.
Idea Labs.
Tony Rapp. Bill Gross of Idea Labs. He's had 7 unicorns.
Yes.
7 unicorns. Arguably the best in the business.
Yes. And he said, and Jonathan Cohen.
JC.
Yes.
From Rhinebeck, New York.
Yes. Fabulous. And Alan Morgan.
Alan Morgan. Him and
he's-
JC are,
Yes.
you know, they're the Idea Lab
Awesome.
world is unbelievable, and I'm very grateful to be a part of it as well.
Me too.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Brian said, so I'm going to have to make a call to you tomorrow. And it's going to be recorded, but it's also going to be live. And he said, these people want to know who you are and why you think like you think.
So they just didn't want to take the money. They really wanted to make sure they were bringing someone on that met their core values.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
I think that's awesome.
It was awesome. And Brian said, I don't know if you know the importance of what I'm saying. And I'm Pollyanna. This is great. I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to have a phone call and it's going to be recorded. You know, what do I know? I don't know anything. Oh, this is awesome. I don't care. You know, this is great. He said they may or may not be on the call. But he said, I think it was Bill said, this is the kind of stuff that gets you on Forbes magazine someday. Then
And
it
that
became
wasn't your
real.
intention, though.
No.
That's what's so great about it.
Yeah, yeah. It was quite innocent. Is that, wow, that's really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody came on the call. We knew people signed on. They didn't answer.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter.
No.
what it matters is that we were able to help a lot of people.
And the overall portrait of what that event looks
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
and the ripple of that for
Yes.
the next 10, 20, 30, 50 years
Yeah.
is really what it was all about, and the footprint and the inspirational spiritual action step
Yes.
that you took
Yes.
in a moment of decision making.
Yes.
Incredible. Thank you for all that.
Thank you.
There was also a time that led to your dad being on stage.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes.
For whatever you can and cannot, like what that
Sure.
looked like
Sure.
and the byproduct of that as well.
Sure. So,
And entrepreneurs, this is what emergent ecosystems look like, and this is what Sean talks about in Unblinded. You know, when you merge ecosystems and are shared communities, right? No different than what Scott and his dad, Jerry, were bringing out from a product standpoint, the whole organization. And from a Tony perspective and his community, that he is constantly educating, constantly showing every single one of the good folks, and I'm one of them in there, on how to really, increase their business and do it with integrity and add more value in your space than anyone else that's in your space. And that's how you could keep rinsing and repeating and multiplying. So what happened from the Business Master event? When did the stage event happen?
So, it was actually planned that he would be on stage teaching before.
Okay.
Yeah, but Tony kind of wanted me to get my feet wet because we didn't know the culture.
Yes.
So I was able to participate, learn the culture, learn the language, come back and express what was going on and what it was going to be like, and get ready.
Yeah.
For who we're going to meet, and it was just awesome. And I got to meet a lot of the production staff because that was coming. Backstage, the speakers.
Yeah.
What's it like? What was your first time like?
Yeah.
Just kind of planning.
Yeah.
So when my dad went on stage, it was really, this was an awesome story too. So I told my dad, I said, you need to see your friend on stage. He said, no, I know him. I said, no. Same guy.
Yeah.
Same person.
Yeah.
But it's on stage in front of, 12, 13,000 people.
So he was trying to tell your dad that Tony's not your patient right now. You need to see him as a
Yes.
thought leader.
Yes. And I said, you are going to see why he is who he is.
Yeah.
Not just the person.
Yeah.
You need to see this.
Yeah.
You will understand why he is such a great communicator.
Yeah.
So we come in and we sit with Sage on the side of the stage, kind of down below.
Yeah.
And he comes in and he sits down and he looks around and he's like, no, okay.
Yeah.
He's spoken in front of 1,500 people before, so okay, this looks okay.
Yeah.
There's about 3.
Yeah.
So he sits there, and so Sage was sitting here, and I was here, and my dad and stepmom, and so he looked up, and I said, "Hey, you do know there's a second row?" He looked up like this, and he looked back at me like, "Oh wow." He said, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I said, "Yeah, you do realize, look behind that screen because there's actually a third row."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh."
Where was this?
This was in Miami.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I thought I probably gave him too much information.
Yeah.
Because it was probably better to not see that.
How many people were there?
I'm going to say 13,000.
13,000.
Ish.
Yeah. 13,000. Incredible.
13,000. So he got on stage, and he is the first person that Tony didn't say, "I'm going to interview you."
Got it.
Tony said, "I will trust you to go on by yourself."
Wow.
Unleashed.
Okay. That's incredible.
Unleashed.
That's incredible.
Incredible. First time.
Yeah.
He knocked it out of the park. He got off stage and he said, "Wow, that was really fun."
Yeah.
In his dry sense of humor,
Yeah.
that was fun.
Yes.
He said, "Hey, I know we have a little booth on the 3rd floor," because he mentioned it out front. "If anybody has any questions, just run up to the 3rd floor, 318. It's right up here.
Yeah.
Have a couple of staff up there." He said, "I think I want to go upstairs and just see if anybody has any questions for me."
Yeah.
I said, "Yeah, that's probably not a good idea." He said, "Well, I walked in and we were fine." I said, "Okay, you have a normal name tag. I had you come in incognito and you sit for about an hour in the real room.
Yep.
Then we went up and sat with Stage beside it because I brought you in a different
Before you get
way.
on, yeah.
So you see it from here, you
Yep.
see it from here." I said, "They now know who you are,
Yeah.
and people like to ask a lot of questions. This is a very
Yes.
inquisitive crowd."
They are. Absolutely educated. Yep.
Yes. So he said, no, how bad could it actually be? I said, that we don't know. So I told the security guard, I said, hey, he wants to go upstairs. And he said, yeah, that's
Not a good idea.
not a good idea. We don't think.
Yeah.
He said, no, seriously, I'm good.
So we
Up we go. The elevator's open. They push. We go out. There's all these people, like it's break at a concert.
Yep.
You know, so between bands or whatever, you see all these people, and now the door's closed behind us.
Yeah.
And somebody says, "There he is." And about that time,
There he is.
Yes, there he is. And all of a sudden, he turns and looks at me like,
And you got to take it
And
away
you gotta
like
take
it's
it away,
yeah. Be
"Sorry."
careful what you wish for.
I know, that's what I said. You asked for this. So he goes down. He was there for 2 hours.
Yep.
Hadn't eaten lunch. Didn't have anything to drink.
Yep.
So we had to have security take him
Yeah.
backstage.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you're needed backstage.
Yeah.
Because he needed something, So he went. We were up there that was 2 hours. We were up there another 4. We were there an hour after it closed.
Wow. Just talking to people?
Just talking to people.
Unbelievable.
The whole arena edge around it was full.
Yeah.
As far as we could see to the other corner, and as far this way around to the other
Wow.
corner. They had to take 4 feet and block it off all the way down so people could be there just to come up and ask questions and take a business.
That's amazing. And you guys from 08, you were ready to handle that kind of business?
Oh, this was nothing. We looked up, and some of the people were new that were there, and they looked up and they said, "Oh, this is like 2008. I see."
Yeah. See? Success leaves clues.
Yes.
Yep.
And it was really interesting because it was like, I get it, ride the wave.
Yeah.
There's nothing but a thing. It's next person.
Yeah.
Help the person. Next person. Help the person.
Wow.
Next person. Help the person.
That's incredible.
It was awesome. And when we left, it was not like you think it would be. Like, wow, that was 6 hours of heavy duty.
Yeah.
We walked out and said, gosh, that was awesome. And how many lives can we change or save
Yeah.
just from that?
And going forward, is there going to be a presence on that stage for those conversations?
Yeah. So
How cool
now,
is that?
Yeah. So now we're at Life Mastery.
Nice.
And so he's going to be doing that one, this next one.
When is that coming up?
I think it's real soon.
Yeah.
I haven't looked actually, but I think it's real
Okay.
soon.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
Thank
by
you.
the way.
Thank you.
So, Scott, what does it look like in the next 5 years? What's the goal? Like, you have a good history of what things look like
Sure.
from you can go back and run a report. Where do you see the next 5 years?
I see more of the same, more people we can help. I see us working with other modalities, especially after the event last night, meeting people who worked with stem cells.
Wow.
It's interesting. It's a nice, interesting conversation like Sean teaches us at Unblinded about merging those ecosystems.
It really is. Yeah.
And finding like-minded people who think outside the box, that it really, truly is these people we're meeting about helping other people.
And anyone watching my videos,
Yes.
whether it's going to be on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, any platform, how can they reach out to you, your company? What would be the first thing that they should do?
Sure. I would look at the website. We've added a lot of videos, things you can see. There's Synergy University, which goes in and teaches you what it's like to stay well, get well,
Yep.
and be well. So that's past, present, and future, really. So it's synergy.us. It's www.senergy with an E.us. And I would also set up a time to speak to one of our advisors.
Yeah.
It's very important about the education, about looking for the root cause of what caused your illness
Yeah.
or dis-ease,
Yep.
which a lot of it's emotion tied to an issue, to actually see what's actually out there. It's more than just what our device does. It's actually looking at how you treat your body, yourself, your mind. And it's really getting down to what are your options?
Yeah.
What are your options? What are you doing? What have you done? What got you here?
Yeah.
What other resources do we have we can refer you to help you get where you need to be? And that's one thing about meeting you that I noticed was wealth and financial health
Yep.
is another piece that's important to be secure.
Yeah.
To
Absolutely.
get somebody,
Yeah.
out of that dis-ease of, I don't know.
Yeah.
And, immediately when I heard of you and then heard you, was that I noticed that you have a way of bringing things to people that actually answer questions. You don't even know there's a question.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That, you no longer cannot know what you now know.
Yeah, exactly.
And when I heard that, and when I heard that and I heard what you do, is I said, you're someone that you can actually talk to.
Yeah.
And learn and understand. And I said, okay, merge ecosystems.
Yeah.
And
I'm excited.
I knew there was a time, and you came up to me at our last Unblinded Immersion and said, it's time for us to meet.
Absolutely. And thank you. And yes, for all you folks out here, just, I'm always looking to learn, and in getting to know Scott, the last, I'd say 2 months, I feel like I've known him for a long time, and understanding and watching the journey and realizing that, wow, he did this and they did that and he did that, all these different things that you pick up on, and then taking that information and bring it into your world, whatever world you're in, is really what the gift is. And I want to thank you for that.
Thank you.
You're an incredible person, making a difference in the world in such positive ways. I remember when Ben Fox first talked about you.
He's awesome.
Yep, and Ben, he worked here for like 6 months.
Yes, he's awesome. Awesome. He's family too.
Yeah, me too. I love Ben Fox, and my first time meeting Ben was when Sean brought me out to Arizona.
Oh, really? Oh, my God.
And we were 6 hours late, by the way. It was like it was one of it was like a blind conference. I forget what the name of it was. Sure. We were 6 hours late. So Sean has me call Ben from the phone. Now, Sean wanted to let me just say he's not 6 hours. It was a snowstorm.
Oh, yes.
And he didn't want to miss it. He wanted to keep his word. So I had to call Ben, who I didn't know at the time, to tell Ben, hey, this is Rob Gill. I work with Sean. We're on our way over right now. We're like 15 minutes out. Can you go and get now Ben's blind, right? Can you go get everybody and bring him into the room because Sean's going to speak? So, it was an interesting, when you think about the journey and the story, it's so incredible. And then I got there, and then, we helped galvanize some people. And it was a great, once again, when Sean speaks, it's unreal.
Awesome.
And it was great seeing that, and I got emotional because we did a video afterwards, me, Ben, and Sean.
Oh, my gosh.
And I just didn't know what I didn't know about blind people.
No.
I didn't know it. And I didn't know they had these events.
Yes.
I didn't know there was unemployment the way it was, And then to hear the device that your dad created and what you're doing and everything, and make the body better, and when you hear someone's name or about somebody in high regard, you listen, but then when you get to meet them, oh my God, so I'm going to thank you for coming in today.
Thank you, Rob.
And thank you for being part of today's podcast. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Rob.
All right, Scott.
I appreciate you.
All right, Scott Tennant, one more time, email.
My email is stennant, 2 N's, so it's STENNANT at Synergy, SENERGY.US.
And we'll make sure it's in the description as well, folks. And if you really want to do a checkup for the neck up, emotionally, mentally, physically, what Scott and what they have going on in their company is incredible. And Tony Robbins is a #1 endorser of it, awesome. As well as many other folks. But, it's something to definitely take a look at. Success Leaves Clues. Read up on it. Check out the videos. And I think, like myself and Dave and some of the folks here, who are purchasers of the product, it is something that you should consider. So listen, folks, if you've enjoyed this the way I have, and if you really want to learn more about, what's going on in Scott's world, go check out his website.
Sure. It's synergy.us. It's SENERGY.US.
It's filled with videos, and it gives you descriptions on what to do next, as well as being able to reach out to a technology person there that can share the information.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you for checking in with us. And as always, we're looking to continue to serve and contribute.